friends, welcome to the final video this week. You are doing an amazing job. We are at the end of week 2. Can you believe that? This week we have been looking at our true identity and our authentic lives as leaders, as well as our lives in community, how community influences and impacts the work that we do as leaders, as well as the people that we are. As you probably have already realized, a fundamental principle out of which we build leaders is we lead out of who we are. As a matter of fact, you cannot give what you do not have. And that is why these Friday videos are so important, and the exercises that come after that are so significant for your growth as a leader and mine. Today we shall be confronting our reality. We've talked about character, we've talked about integrity, we've talked about community life. How can you now show what do you have to show for as an individual leader? How are you in your character? How are you in your relationships in community? In order to help us do that this week, we are going to be sharing with you 2 important resources. These are going to be assessments. I don't know if you have heard about any personality assessments at all, but this week we want to share with you 2 very important tools that have helped us as individual leaders and which we believe will help you too. The first one is going to be what we call the Myers-Briggs personality assessment. Myers-Briggs is the founder of that personality assessment. It is a free personality test that you can take online. We are going to share the link to that online free test with you. It's 16personalities.com, and when you take that, it's going to place you in one of 16 personalities, like the name suggests. And then the second test that you're going to be taking is going to be what is called the DISC assessment. DISC is about group interaction, community life. How do you come across in community? What are your default tendencies in community is what the DISC is going to measure. As a matter of fact, DISC is very useful for leaders and for followers at the same time. When you as a leader know your DISC score as well as the DISC types of the people that you are leading, it helps you to cushion the relationships that you have with them. What does DISC stand for? The D in DISC stands for dominance. The I stands for influence, the S stands for steadiness, and the C stands for compliance. Those are just 4 categories that talk about different kinds of interaction or personality types. There are some leaders who are dominant. To say a leader is dominant, it's the person, like the name suggests, who wants to be in charge. These are the people who are dynamic, they see the big picture, they are determined to succeed, they are quick thinkers, they take initiative, etc. The leader who's dominant, who is an influencer, is the leader who just likes to have fun. Like, they like to hang around with people, they inspire people, they are friendly and they're talkative, they have a good sense of humor, they are very creative and charming, they are energetic, they're like the life of the party, and they thrive on compliments. The leader who is a steady, who scores as a steady leader, is one who wants peace at any cost. This is the peacemaker. They don't want struggle, they are easygoing, they are calm, they have a quick wit, they are excellent mediators. They have this unique ability to come between 2 conflicting parties and bring about a quick resolution of the things that people are struggling with. They are more people who observe before they act, and they are compassionate, they listen patiently. And then finally, the compliant leader is the one who wants perfection. That's the one who you must dot every I and cut every T with. Is very conscientious, loves to think and analyze things, appreciates culture as well as the arts, is thorough and very organized, loves details. Those are some of the characteristics of these different types of leaders. And we believe that when you know a little bit about your DISC type, it would grow what we call, what in leadership circles is called the self-awareness of the leader. There is nothing more lethal to any organization or any group of people than a leader who is completely unaware. The great thing about knowing your DISC type is that the strengths that I just mentioned in this assessment have weaknesses attached to it. And so the dominant leader is very unemotional and doesn't value emotions, can be domineering, lacks empathy for other people. Those are things that can affect life in community. The influencer often exaggerates what they say, tends to be undisciplined and in organization and in behavior. They crave approval, attention, and applause. And then the leader who is steady tends to have a low low awareness of his own or her own emotions, is very low in energy, worries very easily. And the compliant leader is a perfectionist, easily gets depressed, remembers hurts easily, and readily becomes very, very resentful. When you know these things, some of these weaknesses are like blind spots that you cannot see. But the more you grow in self-awareness, the more you increase your chances of growing in yourself. Like some of these weaknesses, all of them actually can be overcome. You see what I mean? And so there are some character flaws which are actually buried in your personality type as a leader, which until you become aware of, you will not be able to work on. I'll give you my case. I am not a very detail-oriented leader, but knowing that I'm a big picture person, and I quickly get impatient when we get to focus too many details. But you would agree with me that if we're going to succeed in anything, we must pay attention to the details, right? And so when you know that, okay, I'm not very detail oriented, I need to work on it, then you can grow in that area. None of these, we are not sharing these with you so that you would say, that's just how I am, you get to deal with me like that. That's just how I am. No. We are saying that while these 4 types of personalities that have been identified in leadership exist by birth, naturally we come in one of these categories. There is another kind of leader, and that is the spirit-controlled, spirit-led leader. And for that leader, that's who we all should be aspiring to be. And that's the leader who is aware of these things, desires to grow in character, desires to grow in relationships, in community, in the union with Christ, all the things that we have talked about up to this point. And so please, when you take these assessments, take them not to carve a niche for yourself and own the space and tell people, nadama anger ya, I just be me quick to anger, so you just get for deal with me, so, or no, nasondama things. So no, don't own the weaknesses, don't own the character flaws, don't own the things that are not healthy in your life as a leader. When you know them, then you can see where the Holy Spirit wants to work in your heart throughout this program, and then trust the Lord and come up with a good plan. It's something that we are going to show you how to do eventually that would help you improve in those areas where you are lacking. Those are the 2 instruments that we get to share with you this week. And as always, we will be waiting to get your feedback. When you take those assessments, we want to help you, walk alongside of you. Let us know, what did you score in each of these assessments? And then we will have unique recommendations for you based on the results that we get. If you're one of those people who is allergic to assessments, you don't like to be analyzed, you don't like it when people box you up, that's not what we're trying to do. We are not giving you a label. Tomorrow I won't see you and say, oh, dominant Ralph or dominant Mercy. No, that's not a label that we are trying to give you. We are helping ourselves know ourselves better so that we can identify the areas where we need to grow in our character, in our community, in order that we can become healthier versions of ourselves. We're looking forward to getting feedback from you after you take these assessments.